Classify, classify, classify. That's the subject of today's Trade on Tuesdays at 2, where we talk about international trade policies and practices for about 2 minutes every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, and where I, Dr. Sarita Jackson, shares 2 tips that can be useful towards your international trade strategy. Classify. Classifying your product or service is very important as a part of the larger process of identifying the right market for your product or service, especially in the beginning with very limited resources. Classifying your product means utilizing the classification codes that are assigned to specific products and services, and using those codes to find those products or services and study the trends to see how that product or service is doing in any given market around the world, as well as when it comes to products, understanding what duty rates are applied to that particular product entering another market. So here are my 2 tips. Number one, start with a licensed customs broker who can help you properly identify your product utilizing the right classification code. Number two, you can also find the classification codes utilizing Schedule B at census.gov by the US Census Bureau. Now, when it comes to classifying your service, join me on March 26th at 8 a.m. Pacific time, where I will lead an in-depth webinar on exporting a service, tips for exporting a service, which will include a discussion on classifying your service. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Trade on Tuesdays at 2.